Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Matt, the vocalist of Cryptopsy, and you're listening to my podcast, Vox&Hops, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians and we talk about their lives, music, and craft beer. This episode is from all the way back in May. As I mentioned in last week's intros, that I have had a whole bunch of content that I sort of had to shelve to get out all of my heavy Montreal interviews. I wanted to get those out right away because I was so excited to be invited to the fest, and I wanted to share those interviews immediately right after the festival. So here's my chat that I had back in May, Vox&Hops episode number 67. I am with Carlos Deanda, the vocalist of Gloryhole Guillotine.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
What's up, everybody? Today, we are in Berlin, and I'm with Carlos. What's your last name, Carlos?
Deanda.
Carlos Deanda.
Yeah.
And we were at a great little craft beer bar called Protokoll, and I was happy to find it. You come to Germany, and you expect just to drink Pilsners and lagers, and not find something beautiful like we just found right here. This is a double New England IPA. Let's smell it and see what she's got. It smells beautiful, fruity, tropical.
Yeah.
It is actually a Russian brewery called Zagovor, and this is their Berlin edition. It's called the Blastbeat. It's a New England IPA. We had to get it. Cheers.
Yeah, very fitting. Cheers.
It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really smooth. It's got the nice hazy color. It's not milky though. It's still like straw colored, I would give it. It smells really sweet, tropical, almost like, and it tastes like pineapple. A lot of pineapple.
Yeah, very sweet.
Tell people who is Carlos? What do you do? Why are we here together?
Oh, I do vocals in Gloryhole Guillotine.
Let's cover that. Let's get that out of the way.
Get that out of the way. So we're opening up for you guys. This 2-week run. The package so far has been fucking awesome. Super cool. It's an honor to be able to do this.
How did the name? Because I set up a lot of the internet stuff for Cryptopsy, and I was writing this band name over and over again. Yeah. Gloryhole Guillotine.
Yeah.
Where did this idea come from? And how did it come about?
Yeah, so one night, hanging out with my buddies, Jeff and Tyler, they play guitar and bass. So I'm the only one that drinks, and I was a little drunk, shooting out, joke band names like Meth Mouth or fucking Blood Blister. It was like Blissful Blood Blister. It was all like alliteration like that, pretty much just going down the line. And when we got to G, I don't know, Gloryhole Guillotine just right off the top of my head. Then, I never thought anything of it. It's just a drunken joke. And a few months later, Jeffrey had actually started to teach himself guitar and wanted to do a project that was more like a Gloraphobic Nosebleed, grindy, quick, fast. And he and Tyler wrote a song, and they recorded it and asked me if they could use my name and if I wanted to do vocals for it. And that's pretty much how the band started.
Had you ever wanted to be in a band before that?
It was always interesting to me. I mean, I've always loved music. I never thought I would be a vocalist. I mean, I would never go more than, just singing in my car by myself on the way to work. But I took that on, and I feel like it was the right choice because now here we are in Berlin.
That's right, and this is your second European tour. The first time you were out here with Cattle Decapitation, Broken Hope.
Hideous Divinity.
That's right. Shout out to the Italian boys.
Yeah, love those guys. Yeah, this is the second time. The first.
How does this tour feel compared to the other one? Is there a difference?
Yeah. Mainly because I was doing merch for two bands, Broken Hope and my band. So that was a lot. It was also the first time in Europe, so a lot of nervousness there. I feel like I had to, as soon as we landed, I had to hit the ground running, really, because it was a lot, counting all the merch, selling, running up on stage, trying to get the crowd hype, running off stage, doing more merch for two bands. So I also didn't really have time to explore or do it much, kind of like I would set up. It would take me like all day. yeah, and then by the time I was done setting up merch, doors would be open and I'd be stuck. I'm gonna have to send one of my guys out to get me food.
It is one of the worst things the first day of a tour. You get that shipment, you got to count it all, get it all sorted, organized, stuff that people don't, do shows at our level might comprehend. It's always a shitty first day. You're tired, you're jet lagged.
Yeah.
Do you miss selling merch for bands, or is it something you enjoyed?
I liked it. I mean, that's where everyone goes, right after the bands play. So it's cool. You get to meet a lot of people. Get to hook up fans with the band you're working for too. So it's like, oh man, I've been waiting, fucking years to see Broken Hope. I finally made it out. Do you think you can hook it up and get them to sign my cassette or old vintage shirt? It's like, for sure. Let me just get them over here. So that's always good to see the expression on their face, I guess.
So you mentioned that there was a thought in the back of your mind to be in a band. I know this because we've spoken on the bus throughout the nights there. You started out selling merch for Broken Hope in America.
Yep, we did.
And you were not doing any vocals at this time.
Nope.
You were not in a band.
Nope.
This was your first exposure to what being a band on the road is like.
Yeah.
Is that when you got the taste and wanted to be in a band?
Oh, yeah. I was pretty much just I want to be a roadie for the rest of my life. This is awesome. Just fucking metal all the time and traveling, seeing new cities. I was 19, I think, right out of high school. Jeremy was really hesitant. The guitarist of Broken Hope, he was really hesitant because he's like, well, you've never done this before and you're just some punk out of high school. But yeah, I'm glad he gave me the shot, and now we're really close friends. He's even invited me over to his house. Just, hey, Game of Thrones is on this Sunday. Come over and watch it with me and my wife.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Shout out to Jeremy. I'd love to have you on the podcast one day.
Oh yeah,
got a lot to talk about, but I'd like to ask you.
Yeah, he'd be happy to.
Let's go into you as a kid. What kind of a kid were you? Growing up in your house, was there music playing?
Oh yeah, I was definitely the class clown. In school, growing up, I was a rambunctious young lad. I like to break stuff. Very aggressive. So I guess it kind of makes sense. I ended up doing vocals. Oh man, that's such a good beer. But yeah, no, I there's footage of me actually as a little kid with a hairbrush, just singing, running around, maybe 3 years old, singing stuff off the TV. My household though, since I'm Mexican, it was nothing but mariachi music. My dad's super into 80s pop, so it was never anything heavy. I kind of had to discover the heaviness all on my own.
What would have been that first, band that you heard? You were like, what is this? I'm a bit afraid of it, but I like it.
Oh, man. Definitely Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. I just picked it up. I literally just went to the store. I had gotten a CD player, the little portable ones, as a gift. I don't even remember what birthday it was, but I got a CD player, and I was like, well, I don't even have any CDs, so I need to go buy CDs. All I had was Bon Jovi. His greatest hits from my dad, and Chicago. What else? REO Speedwagon too. Fucking love REO Speedwagon. So I went and I just went through all the genres, and the only one I bought that day I think was that one. And my younger brother, he bought it was a Ludacris CD.
Really?
Yeah.
So what made you gravitate towards that CD?
It was just the cover, and the fact that it said metal, rock. In that section, and everything else looked evil, but that one was just a soldier with butterfly wings graffiti. So I don't know, I fucking picked it up. I exclusively only listened to that album for months.
What was your favorite song? What did you like? Did you like the rap part of it, the singing, the screaming?
How melodic it is. Everything just kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just
I'm not gonna lie, I had that CD. I had a band back then, and we covered One Step Closer.
Yeah, they're all so good.
It's still some songs still stand up to the test of time. I did it recently. I went back and listened to all my new metal phase CDs that I really enjoyed, and some of them stand up still. That first Slipknot, the first Korn. Limp Bizkit fails. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, don't tell Tyler. Don't tell Jeffrey. Jeffrey still sounds check sometimes with Limp Bizkit.
And the one that I still stand by that to this day is still great, Antichrist Superstar.
Yep,
by Marilyn Manson. Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
So when did you get the name?
Yep.
The guys say, "Do you want to be our singer?"
Yep.
You had never done vocals before.
Nope. We had the first song. It was Orphan. I didn't even know what to write about, so the lyrics were just like Bloodborne, a video game, very H.P. Lovecraft. Like you think it's gonna be Victorian werewolves, and then all of a sudden H.P. Lovecraft, fucking disgusting, unspeakable horrors. So that was I wrote the lyrics. I went in to record with my buddy Scott McGinnis. He records bands, but mostly like gent kind of bands. And I just remember I had to buy a 6-pack of beer, and it took me 3 hours to record a 1-minute song because I was so nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
But where did you even find the voice?
It's just kind of screaming along to, death metal bands like Nocturnal by the Black Dahlia Murder. I love the Black Dahlia Murder. That album, Miasma, I would just put them on. And I know all the words. I've seen them.
And you would just sit in your car. I know a lot of people do it in their car. That's how they discovered their death metal voices.
Yeah.
Just following along to CDs that they enjoy.
Yeah, just trying to emulate the sound.
That's
really.
right. That's right. If you had to pick your top 3 vocalists, who would they be?
Oh, man. Well, definitely Trevor, because if it weren't for Trevor, I would probably not be here just singing, I guess, screaming. He's cool. Well, someone really heavy, like Corpse Grinder, again, very typical answer, but wild card. Jake Superchi, I think that's how you say his last name. He's the lead vocal guitars in WADA, this black metal band from Washington. And on the recordings, you kind of get a sense of what it's like, but when you see them live, he goes from the most deepest guttural to the shrill howl of a wolf, and then a quick switch. He does weird kind of even sounds like Mongolian throat singing too. So he's really versatile, and it kind of just from a black metal band going in, they're all wearing hoods. That's not what I expected, basically, and I don't know, it's kind of blew me away. I've been still trying to do that, emulate that, the howling. Can't do it. Very difficult.
So 3 hours, 1-minute song, 6-pack of beer.
Yep.
What beer was that?
It's probably Delicious. The Delicious IPA by Stone.
Okay. Yeah.
Really smooth.
Are you a craft beer enthusiast? You are from Chicago, and in my opinion, Chicago, Denver, San Diego are probably the top precursors of the craft beer scene in the States.
Yeah, no one in my family really drinks beer. I'm the only one that drinks in my family, so it's not like I could even have a beer with my dad or anything like that because he doesn't drink. So I've always had to kind of discover my own way. I've had the weird ones that have the Ralph Steadman art on them. It's I don't even know what they're called. One of them is a double bitch IPA or something like that. They got the weird names. They got Ralph Steadman on them, and so I'll just,
You just go into the liquor store and be inspired by labels.
Yep, very
basically
visual
the same approach you had to buying that Linkin Park CD.
Yeah. I'm a visual guy, so if it kind of draws my eye, I'm probably just gonna buy it just to give it a chance.
Do you remember the first craft beer you had?
Probably Arrogant Bastard, simply just because of the name. And the label, again, it's black, red.
It's still a good beer. I actually had my first one the other day in Copenhagen.
Oh, really?
When we went to the after-bar party there.
Yeah, it was good.
Shout out to the people in Copenhagen. You guys are really cool.
Yeah, Copenhagen was awesome. But I've kind of been alone on this journey. I don't really have craft beer enthusiast friends. So it's really just on the weekend, I'll pick up a 6-pack, make my own.
You're just going to hang out with Mike more.
Yeah, I do have to hang out with Mike more.
Mikey, Broken Hope drummer, Vox&Hops alumni. What about if you could pick? This is your second tour. Do you feel you guys have done tours in the States?
We play mostly one-offs with other bands. So Andrew, he's the newest addition to the band. Nosferandrew, yeah. Andrew and Ben, they're both from Minneapolis. So the Minneapolis scene there is pretty big. Ben is in like 5 bands because he's a drummer.
He's a drummer. Drummers tend to be.
Yeah. So
let's reference Mikey again.
Yeah. So he's always just like in their band chat, just, hey guys, this band wants to do a show. Are you guys interested? Or
do you feel, I get asked this question all the time, and I know my answer. I want to know your answer. Do you feel a difference between the U.S. crowds versus the European crowds?
Yep. U.S. are a little less afraid to move around because I feel like in Europe they definitely, I think especially since we're the new band, a lot of people haven't heard of us. They're very apprehensive. They wait until the end, a break between songs, and then they'll cheer. And it's like a legitimate, nice, cool cheer. But then in between while we're playing, they're just watching us, I guess. Like, it's not something they've seen before. Whereas, like, for you guys in Ingested, I mean, you guys have been around. So they know the songs. They do go a little more crazy. Whereas in America, even if they don't know the song,
they're there to party, and
yeah.
they're there to pit. Yeah. I had a strange time on stage last night. We were in Hamburg at Bambi Galore. Shout out to the local staff. You guys are great. We played like Graves of the Father, which is like one of the biggest crowd interaction things that goes on during our set. They call circle pits, and there's nothing happening. Yeah. And then we play our news track, Fear His Displeasure, afterwards, and we totally fucked up. There was like a huge crypto, like we were lost for like a good 6 seconds. We were not all together for noticeably enough, Mm-hmm. And then right after that, a pit broke out. I was like, this makes no sense what's happening right now. What would be your ultimate tour horror story?
It was pre-tour. So, basically what happened was, there's some context. So Ben had to join the band when we were going on tour because I didn't want to just be that weird band with a laptop on stage. So we didn't have a drummer.
Is that what it was initially?
Yeah.
Was Ben on tour with you guys with Cattle?
Yeah, he was.
So this is pre-Cattle tour.
Yep, right before. We were going to practice, and Jeremy just let me know, hey, by the way, this band dropped off, and I pitched you guys to Travis, and Travis said, sure, like they can open.
Shout out to Travis, Vox&Hops alumni.
Shout out to Travis.
My boy. Can't wait for that new Cattle.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. So he basically gave the green light, and I said, oh, fuck. I'd never played a show before like that.
It took you 3 hours to track one minute song.
Yep, a 1 minute song. I'd never played a show, and then all of a sudden, we're going to Europe with no drummer. So I was like, yeah, fuck that. We need to find a drummer. And Jeffrey reached out to Ben since Jeff went to school in Minnesota and Minneapolis, so he's also very well connected there. He asked Ben. Ben said, yep. We practiced a ton. We opened for Broken Hope for their CD release. It was in L.A. It was like right before the Cattle tour. And
how nervous were you for that?
Terrified. I guess people from Metal Blade were there, and that did not help.
No, you were more nervous? Yeah.
So
I'm like, Broken Hope's on Metal Blade?
No.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
They're Century Media.
Okay.
But there were Metal Blade people there. Broken Hope were on Metal Blade, I think. The Swamped maybe was on Metal Blade. One of the earlier ones. But it's a packed house. I'm nervous as fuck. Drinking like shots
before the show.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, just.
Oh, I can't do that. I totally mess up.
Oh man, I like put cold water on my face. I'm pacing. We threw in a cover of
Hit Me Baby One More Time.
No, I don't even remember the cover. Honestly, I'm trying to like repress the memory.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, it was bad. So, and the guy Matt from the band was there, and they told me this before going.
Right on stage.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah,
so
by the way, Matt's here.
Yes.
You're going to
So I go up
cover his band right in front of him.
Yeah.
Your first show ever. Sold out LA show.
No, it was Repulsion. It wasn't Terrorize. It was Repulsion. So I go on stage. We're playing, our songs. Everything's going fine. Nobody knows who we are, and they're just looking at us like, who the fuck are these guys? And then the cover starts, and everyone's like, yeah, all right. We know this one. And I fucking forget the words. And I just stood stiff on stage. Yeah. Tyler's looking at me like, fucking do something. And I just shrugged like, hey, the jig is up, dude. I fucked up. as soon as it was over, I just said, "Oh, that was weird," and we just went on with the set. I got off stage and I was just like, fuck, so embarrassed. Matt came up to me after and was like, "Dude, that was a sick performance. You were just like." And that was it. And then he kind of, came.
It's always worse for us than it is for what it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, I also had like fucking
Too many
paranoia about not enough, I think. Paranoia about like little things, like what if the mic cuts out or something, and that did happen to me, and I just picked up the cord, plugged it back in. No big
That's
deal.
it. Yeah. You told me that the other day. It just fell
Yeah.
out. The one time that you didn't say yes, let's tape the mic.
Yeah, it falls out.
Someone offered to tape it, and you said no, and it
Yeah.
fell out, right?
Yeah, because
That's
I
like
don't
me
tape the mic.
Today, I normally don't ask for a spare mic on the floor, but if anyone ever asks me, "Do you want one?" I always say yes.
Yeah.
Because if I say no at that situation, and then my mic craps out, I'm like, I could have had another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the world giving you signs, you know.
It's like insurance and blackjack. Everyone says, "Nah, I don't need it," but you
I
never know.
have heard of that you studied blackjack before going to Las Vegas. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you went to Psycho Fest,
Psycho Las Vegas.
Yeah. Let's talk about your how you mentally approached playing blackjack.
Yeah, so everyone's always saying like you can go and make money gambling, which I think is not true. Eventually you will lose money. You might make money for a little bit, but then you start losing money.
You got to step out at the right point.
Yep, exactly.
It's like metal bands. You got to stop at the top.
Yeah, and so I also play a ton of video games, and I'm always just like, whether playing solitaire or whatever the fuck at home, like a poker mini game. So I was like, okay, well, blackjack, I know how it works, kind of. And so there's literally a chart, like, you can just Google it, and it'll tell you. Like, if you get 16 and it's, 2 8s, you should, stand or hit or
You memorized
whatever.
all that.
No, I basically just was, like, looking at it for a few hours, and then I realized, okay, you know what? If I get a 16, I'll stay. Basically, less than 16, I'll hit, and just stuck with that. But I made it was some $400 the first night.
That's not too shabby.
Yeah, and then I proceeded to lose it all on merch and stuff. Yeah,
No, you
Well,
didn't lose
spend
it. You spent it.
I
You invested it into the metal scene.
Yeah, but I feel like if I weren't that drunk, because they just keep giving you drinks for free when you're at the table.
They're not stupid.
Yeah, they want
Impair your
you to-
judgment.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if I had been a little less drunk, I probably could have pocketed some of that money. But I blew it all on merch. And
When you're a young boy, you can always go back and conquer the blackjack tables once again.
yeah, my group of friends, we all try to all go to that like every year. It's
Cool. I'd love
August.
to play it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we go. Weed is legal there now, so that's awesome.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, have a good time, see these bands, and you don't have to. It's not that rigorous either, because you stay at the hotel,
And the fest is at
and
the
the
hotel.
fest is at the
Oh,
hotel.
that's pretty
and
cool.
the
It's like
casino's at the
70,000.
hotel, yeah,
It's like 70,000, but on land.
yeah.
We don't talk about 70,000 though.
No, all right.
Dream tour, Gloryhole Guillotine. Who would be on that bill?
Oh man, Gloryhole Guillotine, definitely like Napalm Death, Brujeria. And one more. Dream tour.
Right there, that'd be good already.
Nazem.
Napalm Death, Brujeria,
Yeah.
Gloryhole would be great.
Yeah, but
Anal
Fif-
cunt.
Magruder Grind.
Magruder Grind?
Yeah,
I don't know that.
they're dope. I saw them in Florida. It was them, Napalm Death, and Cannibal Corpse, and they were as grind as it gets.
I don't understand grindcore. I can see how it's
I don't
fun.
either.
I don't get it. I sort of... I don't want to be mean. I feel like you guys can't write songs. You write like 2 parts.
Chunks.
And then that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like those little fucking firecrackers, just pop, pop.
Yeah. Like how many
'Cause-
songs do you play in your 30-minute set?
20-something, 25.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
We usually keep it to like a minute and a half. We have the new songs we have that we close out our set with. One is a minute and a half. One is 3 minutes. Barely
That's
3
way
minutes.
too long, that one.
Yeah, that's already too long.
And then you start with that intro, which is like quite like melodic.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of definite like sparsity when it comes to sticking everything together. It's like you don't. Mostly Jeff writes all the songs, and I just put words to him. Now with Andrew is like kind of definitely trying to get us more away from the just like hectic, more melody, groovy, slammier.
What does Gloryhole have coming up next?
We are actually going to write a full-length album. So,
Which will be the first one.
Yep. So we've only had 2 EPs.
How many songs would be on a full Gloryhole Guillotine album?
Well, see, that's the thing. We're not going to count songs. We're going to go for playtime, which should be like 30 minutes.
Okay.
35 minutes.
So it could be anywhere between like 20 to 25 songs.
Yep.
That's hard vocally. I don't know, like lyrically. How do you write so many song contexts like topics?
Yeah, I mean, they're all just coming from a place of like disdain, I guess. You know, very misanthropic.
What's your main influence lyrically?
Influence, I don't know. It's just like Pig Destroyer, you know, because it's so fucking out there, just screaming, and then you go back and it's like you're reading a really sad poem or something, you know, like it. There's no rhyming to it. There's no nothing. It's just the words that are there, and that's it. And he just presents it how he presents it. Tries to make it work. Tries to get a fucking rise out of you. It's kind of what I go about. Like lyrically, because we've been a band for such a short amount of time that I don't want to say it because it sounds kind of bad, but we've been just pumping them out, you know. So they've been just throwaway lyrics, really, of like, you know, beating someone to a pulp, literally, and like they're now like a mass held in their skin. Like you break someone, but you don't crack the peel, kind of. You know, there's like shit like that, or the one about Bloodborne. You know, murder, hating the planet, cops suck. Basically.
How do you explain all this to your family?
I don't.
Do they understand? They wouldn't understand.
No. I mean, my parents, they're really supportive. I mean, I'm only 25, so they're still a huge part of my life, and they're just like, my dad's kind of a hard ass, but when they're like, dude, you were never, like, you used to sing with a hairbrush. We never thought you'd like travel and actually do that, but it's cool that you're doing it. And my mom will not hear any of my songs. She
hasn't heard it.
No, I played them for her. She was like, "No, turn that off. It sounds like I feel like you're hurting yourself when you're screaming like that." And it's like, no. I mean, if I was hurting myself, I wouldn't have a voice anymore.
We wouldn't be able to talk anymore. Yeah. Let's talk about that technique. How did you?
Well,
what is your approach? What is your thought process? Vocally.
So I always want to be like caveman deep, but I had the hardest time getting low, so I stuck to mostly just vocal fry. You know, I watched technique videos of people online who do it.
Did you do that?
Yeah,
you're part of that different generation than
me. So they're just like, dude, the diaphragm, you know, it's from here, it's not the throat, it's like more in your chest. So it's kind of hard to explain, but now that I've done it for so long, I kind of like, let's say I'm hungover or something, and it's harder for me to use my diaphragm. I'll feel it in my throat, and it's like, oh shit, I gotta get together, wrap it up.
Or you. Well, what I've been like thinking a lot of on this tour while I'm on stage is it's all air.
Mm-hmm.
Just for some reason that phrase has really been helping me on stage. Yeah,
because we have a song. It's called "Infected Asshole." It has nothing to do with infected assholes. It's about Conan the Barbarian crushing his enemies.
Really?
Yeah, we actually have that sample. The what is best in life? Conan. Oh, to crush your enemies. You know, all that shit.
Infected asshole.
Yeah, and that last part is just like so rough. Like I have to fucking take a break before I have some water real quick before we go into that part, and like every time it's a struggle. I'm like drooling, frothing at the mouth.
There's no shame to taking a sip of water.
Yeah, but
on stage,
I have to. Then it kind of like when we wrote the song, I was like, oh man, this is fucking sick, and I had like all these extra words I was gonna put in there, but I was like, holy fuck, if I'm gonna do that last part the way I'm doing it, I can't have words before it really.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I take that time to, you know, it's a calculated move.
Hydrate and make yourself good. Well, Carlos, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm stoked that you're on this tour with us. I'm glad to have met you. All of your band are just the nicest dudes. And when you step on a tour bus, you never know who's going to be there with you. So I feel lucky, and I hope my streak continues, because I have only toured with the best people in the world, and I make lifelong friends. And you are now a part of that, and you're also a part of the Vox&Hops alumni. So
thank
you so much for being here.
I'm so honored. Thank you.
Cheers,
for
brother.
having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for listening right to the end. You know that I love and appreciate that. Carlos is such a funny dude. We had many, many, many late-night fun times on that tour bus, on the Gloryhole Guillotine, Ingested, Cryptopsy, Night Rage, Demonical, and Insight Tour back in May. Carlos was a true warrior. He often was one of the last people to go to bed. And he was fun. So I had a few chuckles re-listening to the conversation as I was editing it. Carlos, you're a great dude. Thank you so much for being a part of the Vox&Hops podcast. And all you people out there should check out Gloryhole Guillotine if you enjoy grindcore and extremely brutal lyrics and quick songs, as I mentioned in the interview. As always, if you guys have any questions, recommendations, suggestions, if you are a brewer and you would like me to review some of your beers, as I have started to do, you should hit me up at matt@voxandhops.com. That's MATT @VOXANDHOPS.com. And I'm always super excited and humbled to read any mail that I get from Vox and Hops heads. So please do that. I hope you have a great weekend, and remember to enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. Cheers, Vox and Hops heads.